This lesson is going to be on a Muddy Waters song. Oh, sorry. Robert Johnson song called Stones in My Passway. To get this song going, you'll have to get your guitar tuned to open G tuning. So that'll just be DGDGBD. And then a capo onto the second fret. And you'll also need a slide for this one. And once you've got all that, you'll be good to go. I'll go through the song once, and then we'll get into the lesson. So. Okay, so that's pretty much the extent of the song. The way it starts out is you'll be sliding into the octave, which will be the 14th fret if you capo up to the 2nd fret, but we'll just call that the 12th fret. So just sliding up there. I think in the recording actually he just goes kind of just 2 approaches in there, and then same sort of thing but on the 3rd fret now. And when you come off of that, you go into the 3, back to the 2, and then just open. All on one pluck. You kind of get the shape that he had going. Excuse me. And then just finishing on just kind of a bunch of those mid-range strings. Alright, and I'm gonna cheat and just drop the slide. But if you really wanted to play this song, you probably want to just have a slide on your pinky finger and just keep it on there for the duration of the song. But at this point what he does is he just plays around on the treble side. He just does this. So very simple. Kind of just playing around on the 5th fret, 3rd fret, and a little bit of the 2nd fret, and just the rest of those treble strings, the rest being the G string and B string mainly, will just be hit open. So as you can see there, what I'm just doing is going 5 to the 3, a bit of the 2, back to the 3. Sometimes, you know, you can just vary it up. Even to the open. And then with the rest of those strings. That's just a few different ways of playing it. And once you want to add in the bass part, it goes like this. I played it twice through, but you only really need to play it once there. that was just to illustrate the point of what he does, but on the bass side, what it is just once you're done one of those on the treble side, what you do on the bass side is just go just a down, up, down, simple down, up, down. Just on messily, I would think, across just the general bottom end of the guitar. So. That's the general idea. And from there, while you're actually playing those treble parts, the way you can sort of tell it kind of alternates between a treble, a bass, back to a treble. But while you're playing those treble things, you can play a little bit of the bass just on downbeats or little rhythms like you know, pretending at that point that it's really just a monotonous bass line on, again, just on the bottom bunch of strings. Alright, that's just the intro there, and then he starts to sing, and it's a bit different here. So the way that works is just a double stop on the 3rd fret across the B and top E strings, so those top 2 strings. So on the 3rd fret. And what you'll be doing is staying on the 3rd fret of the B string, but on the top E string you'll be kind of opening and closing between the 3 and 2. Notice how I'm just like opening and closing on that top string there. That's the basic idea. And yeah, you can just do those little slides into it. There's all sorts of ways that he would phrase it. That would be a different way. Hitting a little monotone bass line there. And then once I'm done one of those, I do another one of those up, down, down, up, downs. And then once it's all finished, I go back to that same sort of those little strums, which are very similar but a little bit different. They're the ones that we were just playing for the intro. So again, right when he starts to sing, it goes like this. And now we're into the 4 chord. Into some more classic RJ stuff. So just slide into the, you'll be hitting a bar, I should preface this by saying that you'll be hitting a bar across the 4 top strings on the 5th fret. So just slide in with that bar, hitting D string on that slide, into the 5. And then hit an open A string. And again, which you'll use here. Now on the treble side, remember that this will be with the bar, but I'm just going to isolate the relevant strings just so that you can see them a little easier. But the main players here will be the top two strings, and what will be going on will be the B string will be just almost like a placeholder on that 5th fret just to give it a fatter sound, and the top E string will be bending on this 10th fret. I guess 8th fret if we're taking into account the capo. Just little micro bends off of that 8th fret back into the bar. So as you can see, then hitting the B string back to the E string. B string on that 5th fret, back to the top E string on that 5th fret. Now into more details here. The whole time, for the little bends, I'm hitting that as a double stop. And then once it gets here, I mean, you've got no choice but just play them individually. But once you get the chance to hit them as a double stop again, do so. Alright, now considering it as a full bar again, sliding in there. You'll be hitting the bass line on the D string, 5th fret, just monotone. Now as you heard there, once you're done one, you started out like this, that's one, now you repeat it. So slide back in and do the same thing. And you're done with the 4 chord, that's it. Again. And then from here on out, it's pretty much a lot of the same material. We're back into this thing. You'll notice this time around it's a little shorter. You only play each of those once. Now for these, I like to hit them as little sweeps. That way you kind of outline the main melody, that being this, but then get just enough of those extra treble open strings to give it that little curtain of sound. And it's a very simple, the mechanics of it are very simple. So it's a nice little technique to keep in your back pocket. Alright, but once you're done this, then there's a little break, and then he slides in. This is where you'll use your slide. I've got to be quiet because it's nighttime, but if it was the daytime and I was filming this, I'd try and pop it. But give it a good pop. Get your finger under there on that D string and slide very assertively into that 5th fret. And you can add a little bit of vibrato. Again, with vibrato, you'll just want to, at least the way I do it, you'll just want to like plant your thumb there, plant your thumb on the string so that it's not moving, and then from there, from your thumb being at the fulcrum, just wiggle your wrist, wiggle your arm from about your elbow. Just wiggle your hand, keeping that thumb planted to make it so that your shoulder isn't doing all the work. And then he just does a little bit of singing, and then it's back to this. Alright, yeah, I was just verifying that. That was the part. Or it might just be this. Either way, it's there are maneuvers that we've already gone over. And that's pretty much the whole song, and even though this video is a little on the longer side, it's a pretty succinct and compact song that is not without its challenges, but certainly something that is decently bite-sized, at least compared to the Blind Willie Johnson video that I just posted. One other variation I should mention before finishing up is that he does vary it at one point later in the recording. So that variation is very simple. Open A string, 3rd fret, then 4. Open D string. And then just sweeping across this little double stop across the 3rd fret of the top 2 strings. And then, yeah, you'll just repeat that a couple times. And then from there, it's just business as usual. Alright, but that pretty much covers Robert Johnson, Stones in My Passway. If you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching.